In a world where everything was decided by birth order, one man refused to accept the place he was given. He was not the strongest, not the favorite, not the one anyone expected to change anything at all. His name was Jacob. He tricked his blind father, stole his brother's future, and ran into the desert with nothing but the clothes on his back. But the road ahead was not a reward. It was 20 years of hard work, betrayal, and pain that slowly broke him down. This is the story of a man who grabbed everything he wanted and lost himself completely. Canaan was powerful and ancient, and at its center, a patriarch named Isaac was slowly fading. Isaac had 2 sons. The younger, Jacob spent his days quietly watching while everyone else made noise. The older son, Esau, was a hunter, dominant, and certain the entire future belonged to him. Their mother, Rebekah, saw both sons differently. Esau had power. Jacob had something harder to name. Esau hunted since sunrise. By the time he smelled Jacob's stew, his judgment was already gone. When Esau stumbled in, desperate and hollow, Jacob made an offer no reasonable man should have accepted. The birthright was the eldest son's sacred inheritance, land, authority, everything. Esau looked at the stew and chose it. He swore it away with a full mouth and an empty conscience. Jacob said nothing. He didn't need to. Years passed. Isaac's eyes darkened completely. The blessing, the most powerful thing he had left, needed to be given before he died. Isaac called Esau and gave him one task: hunt, cook, return. Then the blessing would be his.
Rebekah was listening outside the tent. The moment Esau disappeared toward the wilderness, she was already moving. She found Jacob and told him plainly. The blessing was hours away from leaving the family forever. Jacob's fear wasn't guilt, it was calculation. If Isaac touched his smooth skin, the plan would collapse into a curse. Rebekah had already thought of that. Animal skins, Esau's clothes, pressed into Jacob's hands. Jacob walked toward his father's tent, dressed as his brother, crossing a line he could never walk back across. Isaac heard the footsteps and frowned. Esau had just left, so who was standing at his entrance now?
I am Esau, your firstborn.
Jacob presented the food and spoke as Esau, holding his breath, hoping a blind man's ears wouldn't betray him.
The voice sounds like Jacob.
Isaac grabbed his arm. Fingers moved slowly over the fur. The voice sounded like Jacob, but the hands felt like Esau. Then Isaac leaned forward and smelled the clothes. The wilderness was on them, and the old man believed it. Isaac raised trembling hands and spoke the blessing. At that exact moment, Esau was walking home with the meal he never needed.
Jacob slipped out just before Esau arrived. The 2 brothers may have passed within earshot without knowing. Esau entered proudly, presented the food. Then Isaac's voice went quiet in a way Esau had never heard before. Someone had already come. The blessing was already given. Under ancient law, it could not be taken back. Esau made a sound the tent had never heard, the kind of pain that comes before a man understands what he has lost. He begged for anything, a second blessing, a smaller one. Isaac gave what little remained. Both knew it wasn't the same. Then grief turned. Esau began asking where Jacob was, not out of love. He was planning to wait until their father died. Word reached Rebekah before Esau could act. She had saved Jacob once already. Now she needed to keep him alive. She told him plainly,
Your brother wants to kill you. Go to my brother Laban and disappear until this passes." Jacob gathered almost nothing. No ceremony, no crowd. He walked out of his father's camp completely
I
alone.
wanted the blessing, but
He
now I
had
have
won
no
the
tent,
birthright,
no
the
brother,
blessing,
no peace,
the future,
and only the ground
and he was
beneath me for a
running through the
bed.
dark with nothing but the clothes on his back.
Jacob stopped when his legs gave out and used a stone for a pillow. There was nothing poetic about
What
it.
is this place?
He was exhausted. Then
The
he
ground
dreamed.
feels like dust beneath
A
me.
ladder stretched
sky
from the
is filled
ground
with the
all
servants
the
of
way
heaven.
into heaven, and angels were moving up and down it like it was an ordinary road. At the top of the ladder stood God, who spoke directly to Jacob and repeated the same promise given to Abraham and
Surely the
Isaac
Lord was
before
in this
him.
place,
Jacob
and I did
woke
not know
up,
it.
and his fear had
This is
changed
not
shape.
empty wilderness.
He was not
This
less
is the
afraid,
gate of heaven.
but now the fear had something standing
God
next
stays
to
with me,
it.
protects
He
me,
took the
and brings me
stone
back
he had
one
slept
day.
on, poured oil
Then
over
this
it,
place will
and
always
named the
remind me
place
that I was not
Bethel,
abandoned.
which means the house of God. Then he made a
After all these
conditional
roads and
promise
all this
back to
dust,
God.
I see shepherds waiting by
If
a
you
well.
protect me,
Maybe
feed
this is
me,
the place
and
my
bring me
father sent me
home
toward.
safely, then you will be
That
my
woman coming
God.
with the flock is Rachel,
Jacob
daughter of Laban.
continued east
If you
toward
seek
the
his
land
house,
of his
then your
uncle
answer is walking
Laban,
toward you.
the brother of Rebekah. Jacob arrived at a well outside the city.
Daughter of Laban.
Then a
came
young
here running
woman
from my brother,
appeared,
but
walking
somehow this road
toward
has
the
led me
well,
straight to my mother's
carrying
family.
nothing but confidence. He asked the shepherds if they knew
Your
Laban,
flock should not wait
and they
thirsty
said
while
yes.
strong men stand
He
around the stone.
rolled the stone from
I
the
will move
well
it, even
himself,
if the road has already
watered
emptied
her
my
flock,
strength.
introduced himself as her
Must hear
cousin.
this now. Rebecca's son has
Rachel
come to us,
ran.
and he is
She didn't
waiting at the
walk.
well.
She didn't hesitate. The moment she heard the name Rebecca, her feet
You are my
made the
own
decision
flesh and
for
blood.
her.
Come
Laban
with me,
came
Jacob,
rushing out
because
with
no
open
son of
arms.
Rebekah should stand
Jacob
outside
didn't
my
know
house
yet
like a
that
stranger.
those same arms would one day hold him like a trap.
I left my father's camp with nothing
Jacob
but fear
sat
behind me.
in Laban's
My
courtyard
brother's
that night
anger followed
and
my
told
steps,
enough of his
so my
story
mother
to
sent me
explain
here to your
why he
house, with
arrived
nothing but
alone,
fear behind
with
me.
nothing and afraid. He began working among Laban's animals, repairing fences, carrying water, and every time Rachel passed through the fields, the labor felt
What payment do you
lighter.
want for your hard work?
Laban asked what he wanted as wages. Jacob looked toward Rachel and offered the only thing he had: 7 years of his life.
7 years sounds long
He
to men who
worked through
count days.
burning
When I
summers and
see Rachel
cold
across these
nights.
fields, the
The
years
Bible
become lighter
says
than the
those
dust on
7
my hand.
years felt like days.
I came here with
The
fear
wedding
behind me
feast arrived.
and nothing in my hands. The feast is ready, Jacob.
But Laban had a plan moving inside the darkness. He guided a veiled woman into the tent, and Jacob never thought to question it.
Leah.
Morning came.
This cannot be
The
right.
veil fell.
I worked
It was
7 years for
Leah.
Rachel, and now the morning
Jacob
itself
had
is
spent
exposed
his
to lies.
wedding night beside the wrong woman.
What have you
He
done to
stormed
me?
across
I
the
served you for
courtyard
Rachel,
toward
not Leah.
Laban,
You
furious
placed
and
deception
shaking.
in my hands the same way I
Then
once placed it in
Laban
my
spoke
father's tent.
calmly, and Jacob heard his own story being told back to him. The older must come
I served
before
you for
the
Rachel,
younger.
not Leah.
Laban said it
placed deception
plainly,
in my
like a
hands. I thought
rule,
love would
not a
end my running.
wound.
But even here I
Jacob
paid
had
for
no
all shares.
argument left. He knew exactly
For
what that
Rachel, I will
meant.
work again.
7 more years. Jacob accepted. He had deceived his father using darkness and clothing. Now darkness and clothing had been used on him. His household grew, tents multiplied, children were born. But joy and jealousy lived under the same roof.
I hear their voices changing. Yesterday they called me family, but today they look at my flocks as if I stole their future. Return to the land of your fathers and to your family, Jacob. I have seen what Laban has done, and I will be with you. Your father's face has changed toward me, and God has told me to return home. If we wait too long, Laban may close every road. Move softly and keep the animals close. By the time Laban hears the empty tents, we must already be beyond his reach. First I ran from Esau, now Laban rides behind me. How many times must my life become a road with anger chasing my back?
We went to your brother Esau, and he is coming to meet you with 400 men.
400 men do not travel for a quiet greeting. The sin I ran from has found the road before me.
Separate the people and animals into groups. If Esau strikes one side, the other side may still have time to run. Go ahead of me with these gifts. And when Esau asks who they belong to, tell him they are from his servant Jacob.
Go across the river before me. If tomorrow brings danger, then let the ones I love stand farther from the first blow.
God of my fathers, I crossed this land with only my staff, and now I return with a family, but I am afraid of my brother. Who is there in the darkness? Show yourself. I have no more strength left for another enemy tonight. I have run from my brother, served another man, and lost peace in my own heart. I will not fall without knowing why you came.
My arms are failing, my breath is breaking, but I cannot let go. Not when the morning may bring Esau in judgment.
No, I have let too much slip through my hands already. I will not release you into the morning empty.
Let go.
I will not let you go unless you bless me. I stole words once, but now I beg for a blessing with nothing hidden in my hands.
What is your name?
Jacob. Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and you have endured. I saw God face to face, and my life was spared. I crossed this river as Jacob, but I rise from it as Israel.
The night changed my name, but the morning has brought Esau. Now I must face the wound I made with my own hands.
Every step hurts, but I will not hide behind my family. I wronged my brother, and I must be the first one he sees.
My brother, years of anger have already stolen enough from us. I came to see your face, not to bury it.
I crossed this land afraid of your face, Esau. But seeing you forgive me feels like seeing mercy walk toward me.
Father looks at Joseph as if the rest of us are shadows. One day that favorite smile will divide this whole house. Joseph, my son, take this robe not because cloth makes a man great, but because my heart rejoices whenever I see you near me. In my dream, we were binding bundles in the field, and my bundle stood upright, while yours gathered around and bowed down to it.
He thinks he's better than us. We won't bow.
Look, the dreamer is coming, far from father, far from help, wearing that robe like a banner over our anger.
Take the robe back to Father. Let him decide what happened, and let silence do what our mouths cannot say. We found this robe in the field. Please look carefully and tell us whether it belongs to your son. It is my son's robe.
This is Joseph's robe. My son is gone. I will go down mourning, because the light of my old age has been taken from me.
Go to Egypt and buy grain, or hunger will finish what grief already began. But do not ask my heart to lose another son.
Father, Joseph is alive, and he has sent these wagons to bring you to him. Joseph alive?
Now let me die in peace, because I have seen your face again. The son I mourned has been alive in the hands of God.